Broadcasting from an undisclosed location under a farm pond somewhere in the Midwest. Your host is Jim Crowley. This is Slickfish Radio. We are back in the saddle again. Welcome everybody to another episode of Slickfish Radio. This is going to be a really fun show. I've been looking forward to this for a while, and we got George Poveromo to come back. We rescheduled after a glitch, a snafu, whatever you want to call the technology thing that happened last time. We don't know. Him and I both don't know. But it worked out this time, and we do have him as a guest. And make sure you stay tuned to the end of the show tonight, because we are going to do a very cool giveaway from our friends at American Tackle. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I'll give you a hint ahead of time. If you go to AmericanTackleAnglerProducts.com, remember that. Matter of fact, I will show this to you real quick here. If you go to AmericanTackleAnglerProducts.com, remember you get 20% off if you order anything from there. But at the halfway point, when we take a little bit of a break, we will tell you what the contest is. And then after the show, you can come back and whoever gets the answer correct, like we always do, then we give something away. So we're going to, first of all, we want to thank everybody who's joining us tonight. And you guys are clicking on. Thanks for that. If you have any questions or comments, please let us know. I want to thank our great sponsors that help us every week with this show. Our friends at American Tackle. ICAST is coming up pretty soon. And I know American Tackle is going to have a lot of great stuff to be bringing back out at ICAST. Explore Lacrosse. I'm heading there in a couple weeks. Actually, I'm going to film a couple shows up in Lacrosse, my favorite region between the bluffs up there. Always beautiful and always a lot of fun. My wife just chimed in. Yes, hi, sweetie. It's our anniversary tonight. The woman's already earned her sainthood, to say the least. And for those of you who know her, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Love you, sweetie. Shields in Springfield, Illinois. We love them. They are the best. Thanks again, guys. We appreciate all of you. And we are powered, as always, by Dakota Lithium. And looking forward to a lot of great season. We're going to be filming some shows tomorrow and the next couple of weeks for my other show on Wired to Fish TV, Jim Crowley Outdoors. So we're looking forward to that and getting our fishing season back into gear. So without further ado, I want to bring in our guest. I'm so forward to having him here tonight, George Poveromo. George, how are you, buddy?
I'm fine, and I just learned happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, usually
what the heck are you doing spending it with me?
Well, you know what? It's good for my wife, because usually when somebody tells her happy anniversary, they usually do the sign of the cross on their forehead, you know. So the woman is a saint, and I'm blessed to have her. That is for sure. You know, you and I ran into one another at the Bass Pro Shops thing in Springfield at the 50th anniversary, and that was a heck of a show. And it was so cool. I'm in the Rapala booth, and you've been with Rapala and Suffix forever and ever and ever. And we have a mutual friend in common, which is Dan Quinn. And he's just like, oh man, I wish I was down there with both of you guys there. That had to be fun. And I said, we had a good time. I said, we were doing everything from, because you have, some people know this, some don't, but George it's one of my favorite all-time saltwater fishing shows ever. And you and I have talked about this. I really love the way you tell the story, how you showcase the places in Florida. We're going to get into more stuff about that, but you tell such a good story. And this is your 22nd or 23rd year with World of Saltwater Fishing, isn't it?
It is. We're in our 22nd year now, and we are starting the filming for our 23rd year. So that leaves you scratching your head. I guess we've been at this thing a while.
Yeah, that, and you've also, but your saltwater seminar series is what I wanted to touch on a little bit, because as we talked about before we went on, I have a friend of mine that has attended those, has had friends that have worked with you, and said it's been an incredible thing. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys have done seminars for, I got to look at this again, because this is blown me away, since 1988.
Yes,
right?
Our 35th anniversary tour, our series is happening now.
Oh my goodness. And you guys have spoke to approximately 140,000 anglers when you guys did this. What that has got to hold a special place in your heart.
It's amazing. And to see that we've been doing this now for 35 years, And I like to tell people that I started this in the seventh grade as a science fair project. Just went out of control from there.
Yeah, it just yeah. I was when somebody asked me how long you've been married, I said, well, we met when we were in our 20s. Yeah, whatever, you know. So, but you know, you've been fishing for such a long time, and you how did everything? How did I want you to go back a little bit
Mhm.
and just tell people a little bit of history. How did you get into this? When did this start? Where'd the passion come from?
Well, the passion came from my father. My
Okay.
father loved to fish. That was his sport. My dad was a dentist in Bay Harbor, which is Miami Beach. And every opportunity he would fish. So I remember starting to fish with him around maybe 6 years old. He'd take me to the little seawall on Biscayne Bay, catch these tiny little grunts and snappers. And at that point, it was in my blood.
Yeah.
And I'm really the only one in the family that had the same passion my dad did. And then as I started to get older, he would take me out in his boats and we would fish. And I grew up fishing sea trout, snook, and tarpon in North Miami's Biscayne Bay. And when I got my driver's license and I started to trailer the family boat, I used to sneak offshore because I wanted to catch the groupers, the mahi, and all that. And it was that offshore passion that just really, stuck with me. And as luck would have it, fast forwarding here, when he found out that I kept sneaking offshore in a bay boat, and he said, "You're going to get yourself killed out there," and
Yeah.
of course I get caught. He said, look, we're going to buy a 23 footer, and we'll do even more offshore fishing. But he wanted to go to his buddy, who was an aquasport dealer, and at the time I'm reading the fishing magazines, and I liked the ads for Mako. So my dad and I would argue, "Come on,
Wow.
look at the Mako." So I got him to look at the Mako. He liked the Mako. He purchased our first Mako, a 23 footer. And then a few years later, he had bought a 25 Mako, and I started fishing the Mako owner tournaments. And the Mako owner tournaments, once a year, they would have an outdoor rider trip where they would invite some of the top riders from the magazines for a 1 week fishing vacation, all on Mako boats. It was my senior year of college. And the marketing person from Mako said, "Hey, you do a lot of our tournament fishing. You do well. Would you fish the riders? And we'll cover all your expenses." So I was, heck yeah. And so
Yeah.
I had gone on that, and I met the people from Saltwater Sportsman and Outdoor Life, and they asked me if I would write an article. And I said, "I don't even know. I can barely write my name, but I don't know if I can write a feature." So my first piece ever sold was sail fishing at a Palm Beach for Outdoor Life. And
Wow.
that was one of the highest paying magazines at the time. I got a check for $300. I thought I was going to retire. And then Saltwater Sportsman called me. I did some stories for them, and they had an opening at Saltwater Sportsman. They wanted to know if I would go to work for them. This was 1983, and I've
Yeah.
been with the publication since. So had my dad bought the Aquasport instead of the Mako, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. So you talk about a weird thing, a fate or whatever you might call it.
So that's got to be 1 year because you've been writing now for them since 1983, right?
Yes,
Right.
correct.
And so, and then with Mako, that's probably got to be 1 year without question, one of your longest affiliates. And you've been with a lot of companies for a very, very long time, which I think speaks volumes. I got to say hi to James Dunn, just popped in. Hi, James. How are you? But you've been with a lot of companies for a very, very long time. And I'm going to say that I think that speaks volumes because in this business, it's important to build relationships. And you've obviously done that over a long period of time. So that's got to be very gratifying for you as well.
It is, and it's ironic. And even before I got involved in the business, my dad had purchased our first Mako in 1977, and before I was even in industry. And my dad would only fish with Penn reels. And at the time, I was playing around, with snook and tarpon and bass. And I would
Sure.
go to the store to buy lures, and I'd be looking at some of these other ones. And, no, you buy a Rapala lures. You don't buy junk. You buy Rapala. And he always had. So there was three of them right there that we grew up fishing before I even got involved in the industry, and all three of them had been from the beginning sponsors. So and you're right about that. As my TV show progressed and really became popular,
Mhm.
I've had three other boat companies. I'm not going to mention their names. Want
Great.
me to go with them for deals that were twice, and in one case, three times more than what
Wow.
I get with Mako. And I said, you know what? Mako bought a pig in a poke, and they deserve what they're getting with this show now. And it's the loyalty deal. And I don't jump, I carry everybody. And I think that keeps your stock super, super high where
I
you don't
agree.
go out to the highest bidder. And I've been pleased and had some of these sponsors basically forever.
And it's great that you say that, because I usually ask somebody who's been in the industry a long time. I want to say hi to a couple more. But Bob Hunter from Arkansas. Hi, Bob. Great to have you on here. Great to have you here as always. It's interesting you say that, because I always try to ask somebody in the industry the question, if you had to say something, and I'm going to ask this one early in the thing because I think you made a very good point. Mm-hmm. Because I talk to a lot of the high school students, high school and college students that want to get into the fishing industry. And so I always ask everybody what they're taking as, and if somebody wanted to get in the industry. And I've always said what you said, your commitment to a company, building those relationships is extremely important, because somebody can offer you more money, but they may not. Money is not everything. Building those relationships, I think, helps you not only stay in the industry a longer time, but it also shows your integrity and commitment to your belief in that product. And, we were talking about this before. I've been with Rapala for a very, very long time. I remember my dad having those lures in a tackle box, and that's what I caught a lot of fish on when I was a kid. And to be able to work with that company now and just make a phone call, have some fun, go out with them, have a beer, get to try some of the new products and catch fish. And I mean, a lot of the biggest fish I've ever caught in my life have been on Rapala, VMC, or Suffix products. Sure. And I know you're the same way, and that happens with commitment. Can you speak a little bit about that to tell kids that, the flashy things are not always the better things? It's what, to me, it's your gut and your heart. What do you think?
It's 100%. It's your gut, your heart, and it's the hard work that you put in behind that. And so many youngsters, whoever are trying to get in the industry, they think it's a quick knockout punch, but you build your reputation and everything sort of follows with you. And the other thing I would add to that is the honesty behind it, where you always do your very best work and always 100% honest. So people know as you grow in the industry that what you say you're going to do. And even though we all have contracts, with TV shows and sponsors and all that, my word is good as any contract. If I tell you I'm going to do something, then we're going to do it. So the honesty part comes in there, as well as the hard work and and the quality, whatever it is that you do, you want to make sure that you do a super job. Like when we did the seminars and we started off my TV show, it was always about turning out the best show. It wasn't about, well, I want to make the money and we're going to do the show. It wasn't the money first, the show to get me there. It was always about producing the best show, and that the money would follow as that came along. And that's the philosophy that I've always used. It's always about the show first, and you'll do well. The money always will follow after that, providing you do that. And so many people think, well, I'm going the other way around. I'm going for the money first and I'll turn out whatever. But I've never had that attitude.
No, and you won't, and in my opinion, you won't be around very long if you take that attitude.
True.
If you go, I would much rather. I've always said that when I've had people ask me this before, and integrity is always one of the first things I tell them, and I always tell them, never worry about doing the right thing as long as you do the right thing.
Yep, 100%.
It's really simple that way. You sleep good at night. You're never worrying about digging yourself out of a hole. Just do the right thing. What your heart tells you to do. These companies, if they're going to invest in you, they believe in you, and it's my job. It's your job. We have two jobs as far as I'm concerned. We inform and we entertain, and we do the best to promote with the stuff that we really truly feel that is gonna do the best and show our audience the best thing possible.
Sure thing. You're dead on.
Hey, we're gonna take a break here, and we're gonna do what I usually say, what Chuck Woolery used to say. We're gonna be back in 2 and 2, and just so you people who are joining in, we're gonna come back with George and talk some more about his show coming up, because I got some big fish questions to ask him. Now, if you want to get in on that contest at the end of the show, make sure you go to AmericanTackleAnglerProducts.com. All right, and then at the end of the show, I am going to show you, or I'm going to have you ask a question, and we're going to get you a t-shirt. So we'll be back with George in 2 and 2. American Tackle is home to the award-winning microwave line control system. Rod blanks to reel seats, ferrules to finish, grips to guides. They're committed to the very best in rod building components. Find out more, AmericanTackle.us. With fishing beyond your expectations, indoor and outdoor activities, a vast variety of places to eat, drink, and stay. Discover your next adventure between the bluffs. ExploreLaCrosse.com. Located in Springfield, Illinois' largest selection of sports and sportswear, hunting, fishing, specialty shops and services, a 65-foot Ferris wheel, 16,000-gallon saltwater aquarium, and industry-leading knowledgeable employees. You don't take chances at Shields, ever. Go to shields.com. Believing quality is measured by lifespan and harnessing their unique chemistry and engineering know-how. Dakota Lithium lasts 4 times longer, powering your passion with an 11-year warranty. Find out more, dakotalithium.com.
Slick Fish Radio with Jim Crowley can be seen and heard on Roku, Fire TV, Spotify, Amazon Music, and iTunes.
Okay, we are back with George Poveromo. And again, George, I want to thank you so much. If everybody knew what him and I went through, when it comes to technology, we might be able to catch a couple fish here and there, but technology, it really gave us a challenge this week. And I got to commend George for his commitment. He would not let it go. When he said before, when he says his word, he's going to do something, he definitely does it. I really appreciate you being here, man. I really, because we work for it, gosh dang it. We work for it.
It was like my phone and computer didn't like your phone or computer, and they said, I don't know why they didn't even meet each other yet.
No, the only thing we didn't do is meet for breakfast, for crying out loud. We talked about everything else. I got to say hi to a couple people, more people coming in. I love you folks for doing this. Whenever we do these, you chime in so great, and the show's grown because of all you chiming in like this. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Jim Hengy, how are you? Neil Menson, hi Neil. Great to have you here tonight. Okay, so this is your 23rd. This is the filming for your 23rd season.
Mm-hmm.
You've went all over the Keys, Bahamas, and all that stuff. Is there has to be something every year? Do you look forward to going back to another spot, or do you look forward to, we haven't done this in a while, we haven't done this before? What kind of tricks your trigger at this point?
Well, just getting out there to this very day. Just love getting out and doing that. And for example, when we head to the Florida Keys, we'll pick a different species and a different tactic to go ahead and employ for this particular show. I love the Keys. There's just so much variety to have. I love running to the Bahamas as well. There's some great fishing there. And I love my trips up north. When we, over the course of the 23 years, we've done quite a bit up in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast in particular. And I always like the Northeast episodes because outside of, say, tuna on the offshore, we'll go after striped bass and trophy bass and the fish that we don't get down here. So it's pretty unique to be chasing the fish that we don't have here. It's different. And when we send my boat up and you're in a totally different area with your own boat, your own equipment, I just thoroughly enjoy it because it's different than what we typically do down here. So every place we go has its own merits that get you excited and ramped up for it and keeping a planning for, that next trip.
Now, there's so many places you've been to, the Keys and the Bahamas. This is one of my favorite things about traveling is meeting lodge owners or, little small hotels and things like that. And you incorporate that into every show. You have had to have some incredible to me, that's some of the best stories, is going backwards for a beer or a meal and talking to learners and meeting people around there. And you could tell that still is exciting for you. It is for me. I love going places. I'm like, where are we going to eat tonight? Who are we going to meet? And that's still got to be a big part of it for you, isn't it?
Oh, it is, because when people watch your shows, whether they're in South Florida and they fish the Keys and they trailer their own boats down, or if they're from out of state that want a vacation down there and charter a boat, the big thing is, where's George staying here in Islamorada? Where's he staying in Key West? He always goes to that one restaurant. We got to try that one restaurant. It's got to be good. It looks good on the TV show. So that's a lot of good information that you give. Not only the locals that would trailer their boats down there, but especially the vacationers that come from out of state, because now they know, hey, that looks like a good place. George always stays, for example, Pines and Palms Resort in Islamorada.
Right.
And it looks like a nice little fun place. And then he's always eating in these restaurants, or we'll highlight a different one. And it gives the people an idea of what to expect when they're going down to that particular area.
Well, I can tell you one thing for sure. I think your camera people can be blamed for making other people fat, because every time
they can be blamed for making me fat too.
Because every time they show something, it could be 8 o'clock in the morning when I'm watching it, and I'm going, for crying out loud, I want that. And I always enjoy that part of the show. I'm like, what is he going to be eating? The fishing is fun and everything, but I always get into, I'm part Italian, so food was always a thing, around everything we did basically. And
Yeah.
it was just fun because I'm like, okay, now I got to wait. I can go during this commercial break. I can miss that fish, but I got to come back at the end so I can see what he's eating and where he's staying. And when we were talking in the Rapala booth, we were talking a little bit about recipes and and about different fish that you really like to eat. And I know you have a bunch of different ones, but just for some people tuning in and now, what is probably what would you say would be one of your best tasting fish that is also the simplest to probably make?
Well, I do all my fish simple because when I enjoy fish, I enjoy it for the flavor the fish brings. I'm not a guy that likes to put all kinds of sauces over it, all kinds of vegetables. If I want that, I'll eat a salad. I just want the very basic seasoning just to give it a tad of a flavor, but I want to enjoy the actual taste of each fish. So when I'm done, I can tell with my blindfolded that this is what a mahi tastes like, or I'm eating a wahoo, or I'm eating a swordfish. And so every one I do is really basic. So you'll never see me write a fish cookbook or a fishing cooking show because I could say it all in 15 minutes what we do. Favorite fish, it's a tough one. I love fresh caught swordfish. It's hard to beat, as you all know. It's delicious. Wahoo is very, very good.
Yeah, I've had that.
You can't discount your snappers. Yellowtail, mangrove snappers, they're incredible. And one thing that I sort of get myself in a little hot water on is mahi. People say mahi is sensational. When you look at fish books, they rate it in the excellent eating category. Well, I don't rate it as excellent. I rate it as good. And maybe because that's what we grew up fishing and we've eaten so much of it. Right. But I would say mahi is a solid, good fish. I wouldn't say it's an excellent one like some of the others, but it's a solidly good fish. And like I said, just probably because I've eaten it my whole life, and after a while even a filet mignon gets old.
Well, yeah, and it's funny you say that because in the freshwater community, everybody always talks about walleye is so good, and I've been criticized before because I'm like, it's okay. I'd rather have bluegills.
Yeah,
and I love northern pike. I think that's great. And, the guys from Wisconsin, Minnesota, who we have that's where a strong part of our show is there. And they just look at me cross-eyed sometimes because they're like, but that's what I was raised on too. So, when you have other stuff, I'm the same way. I don't put a whole lot of sauces on it. I like grilling them. Sometimes I like air frying them. Just really, really, really simple, probably because I'm not that good with it. But I just really like it. I really like it that way. I remember when we were in the booth, we were talking a little bit about a fish that I always wanted to catch that I haven't yet. It's just something that I just haven't had the opportunity. Was triple tail, and you said that is just a very, very good tasting fish.
It's outstanding. Now, there's one I would put in the outstanding category, and it's an amazing fish. It's just it's incredible, and it's a great fighting fish if you get some of the larger ones. And it'll be among my favorites. When I see triple tail or I catch a triple tail and I've got some mahi with it too, I'll give my friends the mahi and I'll take them the triple tail. I'll tell you what, we got 4 mahi. You take it, I'll take the triple tail. And your friends think you're doing them a favor. What a generous guy he is. I take the triple tail back and go, yeah.
He's so nice. I'm not thinking about myself whatsoever. Here you go. That's great. George, I sure appreciate, God bless you, man. I sure appreciate you taking your time tonight and working so hard to do this. I hope you come back on again.
Hey, you let me know when, and if our machines talk to each other, we'll be here again.
Well, we'll do it. Are you going to be at ICAST? I'm sure.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
100%. Last year, I was up in Rhode Island doing a show over at ICAST, but I will be at ICAST this go around for sure.
Well, I'm going to be there. My wife and I are going to be there whole week. I'll text you when I'm there. Maybe we can just run into each other and say hi, or sure. One time that night. That'd be great. Sometime during that week. But before we leave, I need to. I want to say hi to a couple more people. Jimmy Neese, Nicholas DeAndrea. Hi guys, thanks for tuning in, and everybody who tuned in tonight. Make sure you stay after we're done because we're going to ask that question to see if you can win a T-shirt. George, go through everything for those people who've been living under a rock. Tell them where they can find you at, all the social media. Just let her rip, buddy.
Sure. Okay. Facebook, you can go to facebook.com/George.Poveromo. follow our fishing adventures there. I'm on Instagram at George Poveromo. And we air on Discovery Channel and World Fishing Network with my TV show, George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing. And if you miss an episode, I post it on my YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and go to George Poveromo TV and see not only my television series, World of Saltwater Fishing, but we also post a televised edition of the Saltwater Sportsman National Seminar Series there as well. So a few places you can find me, and you keep up to speed on what we're doing out there in saltwater.
We had a lot of fun tonight. For those of you guys who aren't watching us live tonight, you're going to pick us up tomorrow. The next day, we will be on the Slickfish Radio page on Roku, also on Fire TV, and then you can find us on Amazon Music, iTunes, and Spotify. So if you haven't had enough of me and George tonight, you'll be able to get plenty of us, as long as you'll be able to share this right from the Facebook page and right after the show is done. George, I again, and you're always been one of my favorites. It was so great to meet and hook up with you. And thank you for your time tonight. And thank your wife, Edie, for putting up with us for the email and everything. We figured it out. I haven't met her yet, and she's a saint. I'm just telling you, she did a great thing and helped us out. And I just really appreciate the work that you did, and just look forward to having you on again.
Well, it's definitely an honor, and the invite. Anytime you want me back, give a shout.
All right. God bless you, my friend. Take care. I'll see you at ICAST.
See you later now.
Bye-bye. What a great guy. What a great guy. I was so looking forward to having George on. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. And so we were laughing and kidding that we went through a lot, but we just all kind of technical snafus and everything. So, hey, before we, so here's the thing. All right. If you guys go to AmericanTackleAnglerProducts.com right now, somebody go there. We have a specific name for the American Tackle fishing rods. All you got to do is go in there, look what the American Tackle fishing rods are. You'll see them. It's not hard. Look up rods and you'll see the American Tackle rods. They have a name. Type it here now while we're still doing this live, or type it after the show. First person that gets a name right, I'm going to send you an American Tackle t-shirt, and we'll probably throw you some other stuff like I usually do too. So go to AmericanTackleAnglerProducts.com. You can put in the code JCO20 if you want to get something. You get 20% off. But tell me the name of our fishing rods that we have at American Tackle. Okay, that's all you have to do. All right. Now for some other stuff here. Got some big news coming from Autism Anglers right there. There's our code right there. We both my shows, Jim Crowley Outdoors on Wired to Fish TV, and Slickfish Radio here. We support Autism Anglers. If you want to get something or support Autism Anglers, there's the code JC10. Also, we have some news coming in a short amount of time from Fish 419, which I think you guys are going to be excited about. I hope so. If you're in the Shields area in Springfield, got a full selection of Fish 419. If you're not, you want to see the sunglasses that I've worn for years now, go to fish419.com, put in the code ThanksJC, and you get 10% off. So, again, the question tonight at AmericanTackleAnglerProducts.com was just tell us what kind of rods that we have at American Tackle for sale. They're completed rods. They're not the components. Just go on there. If you pick that out, we will. And somebody lets me know. Somebody just typed something here. Randy Staley, haven't been to Springfield in a while. Well, you need to go there, Randy. You really do. Shields is an awesome store. They're always well stocked, and it's just an absolutely fantastic store. Great people. Only store you can walk in, and it says "God Bless America" right in the store. My favorite store. I absolutely love Shields. All kinds of cool stuff there. Plus that big Ferris wheel and that big saltwater aquarium. They're just great folks. So again, the question is, go to American Tackle Angler Products and let us know what the name of our rods are on there. Somebody type that in now or after the show, and I will contact you on Facebook, and I will send you an American Tackle t-shirt. Now, a couple other things to tell you. If you haven't seen my other show yet, Jim Crowley Outdoors, that is on Wired to Fish TV. We were on Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. We got some really cool stuff coming up from them as well. So if you're interested in that, we're filming some new shows actually starting tomorrow for the rest of the season. We'll have 13 episodes up there this year when everything's done. I think we got 6 or 7 up there right now. But you can find us. It's easy to do. Just go to Plex. You can get the free Plex app, and you can watch Wired to Fish all the time. Same if you have Distro or Local Now, you can do that. And again, I want to thank our great sponsors tonight, American Tackle Company. home of the award-winning microwave guide system. Nobody's won more awards in this industry for components than American Tackle, and that is with the microwave guide system. Explore Lacrosse, again, we'll be heading there in a couple weeks. Go to explorelacrosse.com. They have a lot of great things to do. We have some more people chiming in here. James, that's one of the rods, but Fitzgerald is not it. I'm looking for the American Tackle brand of rods. You're on the right page, so you shouldn't have too far to look. So James is hot on that. He may be the guy winning the shirt unless somebody beats him to it. Also want to thank Shields again. They're absolutely fantastic store, and they are fully stocked. We are also powered on this show as well as my boat this year. If you haven't seen a walkthrough of my new Miracraft boat, you can go on Facebook page and you can see it there, and you'll see we are powered by Dakota Lithium. We have some exciting guests coming up in the near future. I will give you guys who are still tuning in here tonight, I will give you a little hint. Coming up in a few weeks, we have classic champion, great angler, and great guy, Ott Defoe, coming on the show. I am looking really forward to having Ott on the show. He's another one of my favorites. I want to again take the time to thank George Poveromo for being on the show tonight. He was just a true gentleman and a great ambassador of the sport. So until next time, my friend, here we go. James Dunn just came in. James, you are the winner. He said Toxic Rods, and that is it. That is the American Tackle brand of rods. That is Toxic Rods. James, I will contact you, and you will get a T-shirt from American Tackle. So thank you for doing that. I know some more of you are coming on. If you got some comments after that, please join me after the show. I will answer all your questions after this. As always, our show continues to grow. I have all of you to thank for that. Again, please check out my other show, Jim Crowley Outdoors, on Wired to Fish TV. You can get that through the free Plex app. Until next time, God bless all of you. Get out there and get to doing some fishing and have a great time. We will see you soon.